The thing that people don't realize about YouTubers is they work usually 365 days a year. People who make online content, it's all about immediacy. It's all about as much as you can make. So the more you do that, if you do that for 8 years, it just gets exhausting, frankly.
This generation has found unimaginable success and celebrity on social media. So today, we're asking the question, should people aspire to be Insta-Famous? Today, we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Connor Franta, who is a influencer turned creative director and entrepreneur. Hi, Connor.
Gasp. Wow,
Gasp.
that
Is
intro.
It you?
That
Is
intro.
it truly you?
Sure, maybe. I don't know.
Thank you so
It changes every day.
Every day. If you don't know Connor, where have you been? You have almost 6 million followers on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube, yeah.
And
about the same on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like almost 10 on Twitter, which is weird.
Okay, and then
10 milli.
Yeah.
10 milli.
Just 10.
Yeah, just
It's my family and my grandma.
And also you are now creative directing with clothing lines. You have a best-selling book.
Two. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. But truly, you've done so much and you're just 25 years old. How did that transition happen?
I mean, like, it was oddly seamless in that I went to college for business for 2 years, and I was studying art as well, so I was doing YouTube at the same time. So it just made sense to kind of use the creative passions and then eventually turn them into like business passions off-site.
A lot of people, they'll post on Instagram, they'll say, oh, I can make a video on YouTube and talk to all these people, but I don't think they realize that it takes so much. So
It's hard. There's a lot that goes into it, especially if, I mean, like, since I've been around since the beginning, there, like 8 years ago, there weren't people editing videos, there weren't people scripting or filming for you. I still, to this day, again, like edit, film everything myself, which really isn't like that big of a feat, but it is in, I guess, today's YouTube.
Yeah, and is that
standards.
self-taught?
Yeah, all self-taught. I learned from YouTube videos how to make YouTube videos.
Well, let me ask you this then. You seem to be doing it well. Do you think people should aspire to be Insta-famous?
I think the problem there is the word famous. I don't think you should, I mean, like, I don't know what even that word means. Like, I don't think that can be like a career goal is to be famous, even though people do say it.
Yeah.
I think you can aspire to have a career that has in some digital realm, but I don't think you should ever get into it because you want to be famous.
Yeah.
So you need the right intentions when you get behind it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like being famous is a bad thing or you can, I guess, want that, but that shouldn't be the only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the intentions is big.
For sure, yeah. Because when I got into it, I mean, like, no one really was famous online, so it's just such a weird concept to me that you could get into it that way.
And
I was like the only kid in my high school who watched YouTube.
Yeah, and now you're a megastar in the game, though.
Yeah, it's weird. Full circle.
What I think is so interesting is that so many of the legacy YouTube talent have been posting less and less on that particular platform. Why? What do you think that's about?
The thing that people don't realize about YouTubers is they work usually 365 days a year. People who do, like, if you can compare them to actors will do a movie and then sometimes they'll have a month off or they'll have 2 months off. YouTubers don't get that. Or people who make online content, it's all about immediacy. It's all about as much as you can make. So the more you do that, if you do that for 8 years, it just gets exhausting, frankly.
do you ever feel like you're going through life sometimes doing things for clicks or likes or what you know will resonate with your audience?
Definitely. I'm actively trying not to do that, and I have been for years. Again, I think luckily I've been in the game or in the realm for 8 years, so I kind of know what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And I found out really early that I couldn't live kind of a fake curated lifestyle, if that makes sense. I definitely curate what I do share, but I try my best not to make everything kind of look as perfect as some people do.
Phil has too much class to ask, but how much do influencers typically make?
Oh, we're all billionaires.
Oh,
No, I mean, it's different. It's like, it'd be like asking how much do musicians make, how much do actors make. There's a total gradient. The only difference I think nowadays is that people online just have a lot of different incomes coming from different places. They can make it from.
Vogue just did this mini documentary on Bella Thorne. And
Who's a macro influencer.
was a macro money mommy. In the documentary, she did say that for grid posting, she gets $65,000 a post. For story posting, she gets anywhere from $10K to $20K. So she said it's 100% a job for her. Do you feel that way?
I don't treat Instagram like a job. Instagram for me has always been, because I've always been into photography, I still don't really post videos on Instagram. It's always been a creative outlet and a way to show a different side of my creativity. My YouTube videos are very personal, diary-like entries. Twitter is usually to share very like vulnerable thoughts. I will share selfies and stuff like that occasionally, but it's usually photos of things accept me.
You even stated in your trailer for your book, I'm edited, curated, calculated, and I've normalized that to the point where sometimes it scares me. Is there a downside to your experiences?
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes I do wish I wish I could go back to the more simplicity. I mean, I guess it's the simplicity and innocence of youth, but also growing up, there also wasn't as much technology, and you weren't worrying so much about what other people were thinking about you. And I feel like we do live in a culture that's completely, it's extremely focused on ourselves and our self-image, and every moment we're in, and you can't fully live in that moment. You have to think about letting other people into that moment. So it's exhausting.
But you know, when you think about who you were as a teenager and how much growth you've personally done, I can't help but think as like that older person who's like, I hope your college admissions person isn't seeing this in 4 years, you know? You know, when we think about the data breach that, you know, recently happened with Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, it gets more and more tumultuous, and for me, a little bit more precarious for us to be encouraging young people to be sharing so much of themselves online. Yeah. What is your take on all of that?
I know. I mean, like it's one of those things where I am torn because it clearly is the future. There's no stopping it. So it's not like I can really discourage it. And I know that some people, a lot of these kids, it's the only thing they know. They don't know life before technology and social media. So like, who am I to tell them not to do it?
Yeah.
Have you ever posted anything you regret, and don't lie, because we all have?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Can I think of exactly what that is? No, but there have definitely been moments where I posted things, and it usually does revolve around like that was like a breach of my character or something, or that was something that I'm like, I clearly lost my good intentions and posted something to gain views or to gain some sort of notoriety, and I immediately like realized that and felt guilty. I'm sure I have.
I'll find it.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go wipe everything.
Yeah, seriously.
You can try.
Well, before we let you go, we have to play a game of Your Fave is Problematic. Okay?
Favorite.
The same way we drag the people that we don't like. We have to sometimes drag our fave.
A lot of people's problematic fave is Shania Twain, and she was in the news recently.
So are you heartbroken?
Listen, I just distinctly remember being a little kid and blasting the song "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" with my mom in the car, and just us belting it. And then as soon as we pulled in the driveway, my mom would turn it down and be like, "Don't tell your father," you know. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Shania Twain, but her recent album was a flop and a half. She flopped on RuPaul's Drag Race, and now this Trump nonsense. Yeah. I think from this moment on, Shania Twain is canceled. I'm just.
I mean, it's pretty unforgivable.
That's kind of late.
I could have given you some leeway, Shania, but at this point, are we doing this still? Are we still doing this?
You've drawn a line in the sand.
I have.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm so sorry, guys.
Phil said it all.
He said it all, Connor. Thank you so much for joining us.
For having
Such a
me.
good time. Be sure to always like, share, follow, subscribe. Does that sound familiar?
It's engraved in my brain.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.